On November 25, 2024, the world watched in astonishment as President-elect Donald Trump dropped a bombshell. He announced a 25% tariff on all goods imported from Canada, effective January 20, 2025. This move sent shockwaves through both nations and the global market. Trump's justification? A toxic mix of illegal immigration, drug trafficking, and the need to protect American jobs. Trump took to Truth Social, his preferred platform, to declare, "This tariff will remain in effect until such time as drugs, in particular fentanyl and all illegal aliens, stop this invasion of our country." This statement, laced with his trademark fiery rhetoric, signaled a new era of protectionism. In another statement to the New York Times, he added, "We need to protect American jobs and industries from unfair competition. These tariffs will ensure that our workers are not undercut by foreign producers." This wasn't entirely unexpected. Trump, during his campaign, had hinted at a more aggressive stance on trade. He had frequently criticized Canada, labeling it a free rider on the U.S. economy. His decision to impose tariffs, however, marked a significant escalation in his protectionist rhetoric. The immediate reaction was a mix of disbelief and anger. Experts questioned the rationale behind the tariffs, pointing out the deep economic ties between the two countries. The announcement cast a long shadow over the future of U.S.-Canada relations. Canada's response was swift and sharp. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, visibly angered by the announcement, condemned the tariffs as unjustified and harmful. He asserted that such measures would hurt both Canadian and American economies. "These tariffs are a mistake," Trudeau stated emphatically in a press conference. "They will only serve to harm businesses and consumers on both sides of the border. We will not stand idly by while our economy is attacked." Trudeau, however, also struck a conciliatory note. He highlighted the productive call he had with Trump, focusing on shared priorities like border security and trade. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland and Public Safety Minister Dominic LeBlanc echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the need for cooperation. Despite the diplomatic overtures, the damage was done. The tariffs had ignited a firestorm of uncertainty and anxiety in Canada. Businesses, particularly those heavily reliant on exports to the U.S., braced for impact. The Canadian dollar tumbled, reflecting the growing unease in the markets. The economic fallout from the tariffs is predicted to be significant, and not just for Canada. American consumers, accustomed to a free flow of goods across the border, are likely to face higher prices. Businesses, especially those reliant on Canadian imports, will see their costs rise, potentially leading to job losses. Economists warn of a ripple effect. The tariffs, they argue, could trigger a chain reaction, with both countries imposing retaliatory measures. This would not only disrupt supply chains, but also stifle economic growth on both sides of the border. The uncertainty alone is enough to spook investors and dampen economic activity. Preliminary estimates paint a grim picture. The tariffs are projected to increase tax burdens by a staggering $272 billion annually. This will inevitably translate into higher prices for goods, from lumber and cars to dairy products. Interest rates are also expected to rise, further squeezing consumers and businesses alike. The situation is particularly worrisome given the existing inflationary pressures in both economies. The tariffs threaten to exacerbate these pressures, leading to a scenario where wages fail to keep pace with rising prices. This could have severe consequences for household budgets and overall economic stability. The specter of a trade war now looms large. Trump's tariffs, reminiscent of his protectionist policies during his first term, have raised serious concerns about a potential escalation. The USMCA trade agreement, carefully negotiated to ensure free trade between the US, Canada, and Mexico, is now in jeopardy. Trump's track record does little to assuage these fears. During his first term, he slapped tariffs on over $380 billion worth of Chinese goods, sparking a trade war that rattled the global economy. His recent actions suggest a return to this playbook, albeit with potentially even higher stakes. Trump has hinted at even more aggressive measures. Reports suggest he is considering tariffs of up to 60% on Chinese goods and 10 to 20% on imports from all other countries. While his Treasury Secretary pick, Mike Besant, has advocated for a more gradual implementation to mitigate inflationary risks, the direction seems clear. The coming weeks and months will be crucial. The Trump administration is expected to release detailed tariff plans, outlining the specific goods and rates. This will likely be met with fierce opposition from affected industries and legal challenges. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for a diplomatic solution, but bracing for a potential trade war that nobody can afford. Stay tuned for developing stories. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below and please remember to like and subscribe.